Hello, and welcome to MoviePod, a reclaimed cinema podcast. I'm your host, Brian Wishart. So, this week's episode was supposed to be on Die Hard 2, and I had a very, very good, long, 2-hour-long discussion on Die Hard 2 with Dalton and Pike and Mike class, and unfortunately, I didn't hit the record button, so that episode was lost like tears in the rain. So, so I'm bummed about that, because it was a really good discussion, and then after I made the horrible mistake I made, Dalton called me up. It's like, hey, I have a suggestion for a quick makeup episode. This one isn't going to be that structured too well because we're just kind of go off the cuff, but it's a movie that both of us really, really enjoyed. And we talked about a fair amount and how it's been kind of reclaimed by a fan base in kind of a negative manner. Some people consider it the high point of a new era of a franchise. Some people consider it a very low air point of a franchise. So I'm bringing back to the show Dalton Pike, who was part of the lost episode that no one will hear. Dalton, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me again, even though it's my real first time. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to talk about this movie, so thank you.
Yeah, so we're talking Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Last Jedi is a film that was immediately critically acclaimed. It got rave reviews across the board, and it made I think it cost $300 million and made $1.3 billion. So it was, by most metrics, a huge hit. I think we can talk about a little bit of theatrical experience of it too, because I initially, I was going to say it's Star Wars. So I'm going to see it no matter what. Huge Star Wars fan, and when I saw it with my dad opening day, and I saw some reviews for it beforehand, saying this movie is incredible. It's visually spectacular. It's like the Empire Strikes Back of this new trilogy. It is so much deeper and more interesting than The Force Awakens, which is a pretty safe movie. That's really not really that deep. And then I came out of the movie, and I watched the movie, and I fucking love it so much. I think it's absolutely incredible. I'm leaving the theater thinking people are absolutely going to be raving this movie for a long period of time. And then I go on Reddit, and I see that everyone fucking hates this movie. And oh, there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, big time. I had a very similar experience. This movie came out when I was in college, and I went to film school, and one of the franchises I absolutely was obsessed with was Star Wars. I grew up with the prequels, so I always had a soft spot for them, and once Force Awakens came out, I thought, it was safe. It was a movie about, them trying to destroy another Death Star, and it's I will watch someone blow up a Death Star 1,000 times, and I'll always enjoy it, so I really liked it. It was such a fun... I went to the first available screening of both Force Awakens and Last Jedi in London here. And I remember all my friends were huge on Force Awakens, and I was I liked it, and I liked what it's setting off, right? What the world can become from here. So I was huge looking forward to The Last Jedi. So I was like you, I saw all the it was high 90s Rotten Tomatoes score, all the reviews were so positive.
The Metacritic
so I got there.
Score was great, yeah.
It was crazy, yeah. And then so I brought my friend we made a tradition. We grew up together playing Star Wars in our front yard. He was my neighbor growing up, and he moved to London. He moved to London as well. And the only time we really saw each other was, hey, a new Star Wars movie's out. Let's go see it together, right? It was our way of catching up. So I went with him, and I was floored by this movie. I was that was incredible, right? It was, as a Star Wars fan, you might have this same experience. The thing I hate most about Star Wars is the fans.
Oh,
right?
Undoubtedly, yeah. They're the worst.
It's they demand a lot, but they don't know what they want. And I think there was so many rumors spreading around this movie about, who is Snoke, who is Rey's parents, who are, all of these questions, and then fan theories sort of took on a life of their own, and it became, no matter what the movie would not satisfy 90% of the Star Wars obsessives, right? There was just no chance. And for me, I really liked that when I saw the movie, it gave me nothing that I wanted, you know? Like, as a Star Wars fan, I wanted all this stuff, but it was like, it literally, I mean, you think about Luke throwing the lightsaber off the cliff, right? It's forget what you want, forget all that shit, you know? It's, I'm going to give you a good story, I'm going to give you what I think should be done, and I don't care about... It wasn't he didn't care about what came before. It was everyone's focused on the wrong things, and they're not focused on what's important in the Star Wars world, which I thought was such a breath of fresh air after the J.J. Abrams, like, fan service film that he made. Not that it isn't fun or anything, but that's ultimately what it is, you know? So... And then coming out of that movie and hearing from everybody, I had a few friends who had went to see it, and a girl I was talking to at the time as well. You know, there's people who were seeing it, and they all hated it. They were like messaging me like, "Oh my god, why did I waste my time with that?" And I became like a internet warrior defending this movie, which I was like It made me a lot stronger of a Star Wars fan than I was before, if that makes sense. Yeah. Where it was like, I just had to dig down and be like, no, this is what I want them to do, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like, I think of Force Awakens being kind of like a back to basics kind of Star Wars thing. A lot of people like knock it now because it is a very safe movie.
Yeah.
It's seemingly safe, yeah. But like, thing is, like, you know, another bit of a MoviePod background information is that I have an entire Phantom Menace episode prepped. Have all the notes for it, but I had a guest cancel last minute for it, so I had to so I have had Star Wars a lot in my mind as well. And so episode 1, the whole prequel trilogy, like, episode 1 was like the first movie I remember seeing marketing for and really following like a movie trailer. Like, I think I learned what a movie trailer was like directly, like, with Phantom Menace. I was like 8 years old, like, when the movie came out. Like,
because that was huge, right? Your first glimpse of Star Wars in forever. Yeah,
but like, people did not like the prequel trilogy. They just absolutely did not like it, and like, because they are wooden, they're badly acted. There's some good ideas in it. I do like the movies. Except for Attack of the Clones, I do like them. But
yes, I'm a big Phantom Menace and Revenge of the Sith fan. Attack of the Clones, not so much.
So Revenge of the Sith ended in 2005, and for a long period of time, up until like the 2015 with Force Awakens, like, when it came to, you know, like, oh, this new Star Wars out, it's like a video game or something like that, and like, the lore does not really matter, and it's not really that big of a deal. And but also for me, as someone who I do not like the Clone Wars show at all. It does not work for me whatsoever. I try to watch it like 4 separate times. I tried different watch guides to try and get into it. None of it really works for me. And one of my biggest problems with the new Star Wars stuff, like especially on Disney Plus, is that they're trying to reference a kids show that I do not like too much. And
yeah, I'm with you on that. I tried many times to do Clone Wars. I finally forced myself to watch it all the way through, so I could watch like Star Wars Rebels, which is even more of a kids show, but had some
Rebels
really.
Clone Wars. I got
so do I.
In Clone Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it came to the Disney Plus stuff, I mean, personally, this might offend some listeners, but I'll say it anyway. I thought The Mandalorian was terrible. I think it's not terrible. Yeah, I liked how it started. I liked the idea of doing like a lone wolf and cub thing in the Star Wars universe. But then it became like, I don't know, it was weirdly formulaic, but it was like, it wasn't giving you a lot. And then when it did, it was all like fan service stuff, and I couldn't do it. And then I couldn't get into any of the other Star Wars shows. And which is why you're probably gonna. I get the same reaction. I'm anticipating it. I never got into Andor. I wanted to, but I was so disappointed with so much of, because like I really like Rogue One, and Cassian Andor was my. I have an action figure of Cassian Andor, but I'm like, I can't bring myself to do it because it's been so disappointing with the television stuff. Because to me, my problem with what happened with the backlash of this movie we're talking about was they caved in and started giving fans what they wanted. Mm-hmm. To me, a lot of the Obi-Wan show I did watch, and I was like, okay, this is just giving fans what they asked for, and I don't think they deserve this after the way that they've behaved. No, it's not very good either. So,
and
in my opinion,
and that's I truly think that's why Force Awakens kind of it did so well, and people liked it back when it came out. I can see why people don't like it as much now because legacy sequels are kind of it's now an adopted trend that everyone kind of has their own thoughts on now, whereas it felt relatively fresher in 2015. But they needed to throw away the old canon so much, and it was frustrating talking about in 2013 something like that. Let's say before when Force Awakens was announced, having to talk to people about they got to keep this from the old canon and stuff. They got to keep those Hellraiser looking monster aliens who drop a moon on Chewbacca and kill him. They have to keep that shit. They got to keep Han and Leia's shitty kids in the canon because they're so important to they keep Mara Jade in there. And I'm so glad they just you know what, we're wiping the slate, and in 2015 we're releasing a new Star Wars movie that you don't actually have to give a shit about any of the pre-established you have to read 30 novels to understand what the hell's going on, which is exactly what Star Wars needed. And
yes,
I think the problem with Star Wars now is that they okay, well now we're going to make the entire cartoon show that kids like growing up canon because Reddit liked that TV show a lot, so we're going to make that important to the Mandalorian and Grogu's going to have a million characters from Clone Wars that no one gave a shit about. My dad got me into Star Wars as a little kid. My most prized possessions that I still have is the original trilogy VHS set that doesn't have any of the special feature changes to it. And,
I have that too. I hold it so dear. It's so important.
It's incredible, and I I've probably seen the first Star Wars movie more than I've seen any other movie in my entire life. So I consider myself a pretty big Star Wars fan, but I just and through my dad, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and my dad watches the movies, and he doesn't like the prequels, but he likes the original trilogy. He likes the sequel trilogy, and he can never get into TV shows, and he's tried because I don't know who any of these characters are, and also he sees Star Wars as a film franchise, not as a TV franchise, and
absolutely, as you should. Star Wars in the 70s and 80s was one of the most theatrical things you could experience, right? Mm-hmm. And same in the 90s and early 2000s. It was both of those trilogies set a new standard for motion pictures, right? Mm-hmm. And I get that they're trying to do that with TV, right? Where they're we're trying to show you can do things on this scale and but it doesn't work for me, at least, and it sounds like for you and your dad as well. And that's the reason I've seen every Star Wars movie since I've been alive with the exception of Phantom Menace, when they come out, right? Mm-hmm. And in theaters, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to go see The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
Because it's a TV movie.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a TV movie, too.
It does.
Yeah. And every single Star Wars movie until this new one, the trailers are incredible. Say what you want about Rise of Skywalker, I'm a soft defender of that movie. The trailer is awesome.
Sure.
Really great trailer.
The trailer is really good for that movie.
Yeah. I understand every single fault everyone has for that movie, but I just think it's a fun action blockbuster. I hate that it throws away everything Last Jedi did because Reddit complained about it too much.
That's my big complaint with Rise of Skywalker is when I saw it twice in theaters.
Same.
And I did enjoy it. But I enjoyed it for what it was, but I find it very hard to revisit because I love everything The Last Jedi does, and it completely disrespects it, and it's got some, it's you can't knock Star Wars for having lazy writing, but but Rise of Skywalker has some of the laziest writing in Star Wars, and that's saying a lot. So I don't find it as easy to revisit. Whereas Last Jedi, I can throw on at any point I'm along for the ride. I think the structure of the film helps that as well, like its rewatchability.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the movie is a chase movie, right? It's a point A to point B story, with fantastic chases and action sequences, and really high stakes. And I appreciate
high
that.
Personal stakes.
Very, yeah. I mean, we talked on our missing episode here about how much we love a ticking clock, and this movie has several ticking clocks in it. You know, it's got they have to get to the hyperdrive to disable it, or the tracker. Sorry, the tracker to disable it. The
ships are running out of fuel.
The ships are running out of fuel, and they have to maintain a certain speed. Is Luke going to show up to the fight, right? Are Rey and Kylo Ren going to sort out their struggles before everything kicks off? You know, it's a really fascinating use of time in the movie. I appreciate everything Rian Johnson does with the script and its structure. I mean, it does have some bad lines, but it's Star Wars, you know, it's hard not to say some ridiculous things, but there's some really good lines in it too.
Absolutely. And we'll get into the movie itself right now, because again, Rian Johnson's the one who directed this, and he wrote it as well. And so the movie starts off with it's after the last movie's Starkiller base is destroyed. The Resistance has won its huge big battle. But so pretty much the First Order, who are the bad guys, they have they're now chasing down the Resistance fleet, and they have these these First Order dreadnoughts chasing after them. And it's pretty much like this is it. If the First Order destroys these ships, the Resistance is done. There's this is the remaining Resistance.
That's a big thing I want to mention too. Is in terms of high stakes and personal stakes and everything, when you look at where The Force Awakens ends and where The Last Jedi ends, not to jump ahead, I know we're talking about the start of the movie, but how much is left of the Resistance at the end of The Last Jedi is staggering. How few people there are left resisting the entire galaxy of tyranny, right? Which I know some people.
The actual final scene so powerful.
Exactly. That's the thing. People like to make fun of that scene, but I was I love that scene so much because it is so hopeful. It's that what the Resistance is built on, and what all of the rebellion and everything in Star Wars is built on hope, right? And that final shot is the most hopeful shot in all of Star Wars.
It's probably my favorite scene of any Star Wars movie. Absolutely, I think it's actually powerful. It brings a tear to my eye when I watch it. I love it so much.
I know, me too. It's weird to get I think that's the other thing I really like about this movie is I don't get that emotional watching Star Wars, you know, and this one I do.
Yeah, and I truly The Empire Strikes Back is a top 10 movie for me. I love the movie so much, but
I'm with you there.
Every time I watch The Last Jedi, I'm like, is this better?
I know.
I truly love. This is my favorite movie of 2017 by far. I think it's one of the best blockbusters of the 2010s. It's this and Mad Max Fury Road. I think this movie's perfect. There's little quibbles happening. Some of the jokes don't really hit as well, but I think and it's funny talking about the backlash of this movie. We have to get to some of the backlash being very, very sexist and racist too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So not saying that everyone who dislikes this movie likes it because they are sexist or racist, but a huge portion of the people who have disliked this movie, they were giving Kelly Marie Tran death threats on social media to the point where she left social media. John Boyega got a lot of death threats as well. A lot of Finn and Rose, they have a lot of scenes together, so people thought this scene, these parts are pointless. They're just trying to give these character scenes to hit diversity quotas.
Even though they have arguably the most important scenes in the movie.
Yep, and thematically relevant scenes to what the movie's trying to say too.
I'm
not sure if it's a truly hot take, but I think that a big part about the backlash for The Last Jedi. So this is 2017. the first round of Gamergate was a few years before, and that kind of fizzled out. But like people were like, that was a harassment movement. That is people who are just trying to harass like female developers and journalists because they don't like their opinions about video games, and it got a lot
and
of
if you think about the Zack Snyder stuff too,
yeah, and like Snyder fans are pretty you got lots of Zack Snyder fans who are pretty sexist too. And I'm trying. Yeah, Wonder Woman was also 2017 as well, so same year as Last Jedi. And Gamergate kind of went dormant for a little bit, but I think it kind of caught on with movies around this point in time, because this is also like this 2017 is Trump's first year in office, so you get a lot of people who are emboldened with their opinions because you have someone who ran for office successfully who had very aggressive opinions about women, and he a racist and sexist president. I'm not even mincing words here.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were very into like, oh yeah, we can kind of blame like DEI was not the word back then. I think it was just diversity people were attacking it back then.
Yeah,
and
diversity or whatever. Yeah, I guess that was the term.
Whatever terms they were using back then for the same as it ever was. But because people were I think the following year, this is like a Captain Marvel, and there was a movement around that movie too, where people say like boycott this movie because women are in it, and like people did not want, and like there's stuff like in 2017 with Wonder Woman, there were some screenings for the film like Alamo Drafthouse that were like women exclusive screenings, like this is for women to
like a safe,
watch Wonder Woman
safe
feel empowered
to watch it, yeah.
Which is honestly insane looking back at Wonder Woman of all movies, which is just like, 2/3 of a real movie and 1/3 like just basically superhero generic slop, and like it's just like like can't believe you need a safe space for a Gal Gadot movie.
I know.
but yeah, so like there was like Wonder Woman came out earlier in 2017, so there already was like this kind of like built up pent up rage online, and like you got people who already were thinking. Especially with Reddit communities and such, people already thinking that here's how we think the sequel is going to go, because like we're going to completely theory craft this entire movie that we have not seen anything at all. And when Rian Johnson immediately comes in and says like Luke's going to throw away his lightsaber, it's not going to be what you expect to be at all, and he kind of and people still like shit on this movie because like people think that Rian Johnson was kind of just defying expectations for the sake of defying expectations and not really engaging on a thematic level. But like I think every time he kind of breaks what people expect, I think it really works really well. Like at the middle of the movie, like there's a point I remember seeing this in the theater. Like I thought like this movie could end with Rey turning to the dark side and Kylo Ren turning to the light side, and I don't know what's going to happen or not. Like I was truly I have no idea where the Star Wars movie is going to go next, and I've not had that feeling since I was 5 years old, like watching Empire Strikes Back for the first time.
And I think that moment really, or that feeling really pays off with the throne room scene, right? Because not only is it an incredible action set piece, but
it's incredible. It's so good.
It's climactically for the story, for the character arcs, for everything, and the like realization of what is happening is immense, right? And he really earns that moment. Which also makes right afterwards when Kylo Ren says like is still on his thing, like no, now we can rule the Empire, right? It makes it so much more tragic, and it makes Rey's story like it's far from finished, right? It's she now has a whole other. Sure, they have this bond, and I know some people were criticizing the dyad and the Force element of it. I really liked that. I thought it was such an interesting angle to take, and the idea of some unseen force connecting them, right? Whether that be the Force in general or some underlying, it adds a little bit of mystery, but it also is like, the Force is good and bad, right? It's dark and light. Connecting them is important, and it shows the balance right there. I think it was a really smart move. I think a lot of things about this movie are really smart. To me, I always view Star Wars as genre films, but in their own sort of genre, right? There's There's things that have to happen in a Star Wars movie. It has to have the crawl. Someone's got to get their arm cut off, you know? Like, it has these weird rules to it. And my favorite genre films are ones that turn the genre on its head, right? And I think a lot of people feel the same way. And to me, that's what he was doing with this. I think he viewed it the same way, which is there are rules, whatever, but kind of fuck the rules, you know? That's not what makes Star Wars Star Wars. Yeah. And he still has all of those things in the movie, right? But he does them in such a way that shows he was really thinking on a critical level about the state and future of the franchise. And I think the fact that maybe people didn't want a movie that smart is a factor.
I think that's the big thing, yeah. Or a movie that is trying to outthink the audience, which I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing for a movie like this to, like, you know, really be considering the audience even.
I think it's ballsy.
I think it's ballsy because it backfired to the point where now Disney won't do anything bold. Like, the reason why with Andor, like, the reason why, like, they greenlit Andor, like, pretty much, like, just as Last Jedi just came out or something like that, and, like, I don't think they were expecting Gilroy to do anything as crazy, as, like, ballsy as he was doing with that show. But, like, that's the last kind of... I think you should go back to Andor, because I think it has a lot of great stuff in it.
I do want to, and, like, everyone tells me I'll love it, and I know I will love it. It's just I'm waiting for the time when it feels right and I can fully sink into it.
Yeah, but, like, people were, like... And a lot of people's mind, like, you know, having everyone die at the end of Rogue One, that's Star Wars being ballsy. I think that this Last Jedi, trying to be a thematically rich movie... That's Star Wars being ballsy. Like, that is something that, like... But I don't think people really wanted that in the Star Wars movies. I think people want some, like, basic escapism without having to think a lot. Which is kind of interesting because, like, those prequel movies are, like... I think they only work if you want to academically think about, like, what Lucas is trying to say about politics. Because otherwise they're very wooden, stiff movies.
Yeah, the prequels are very politically heavy movies. They feel like... something almost like, it's not a very good comparison, but I would say on the scale of something like Cleopatra, you know, like these huge production films, or like any religious epic from back in the day, right? Is like they have lore, which is like the biblical stories or the political stories, and they're telling them through this magnificent lens, and that's what Star Wars has been. But with the Force Awakens, they kind of... My biggest problem with Force Awakens is not like I really enjoy the film. It's a very easy watch. I love to throw it on. But the thing that Rian Johnson, I think, noticed because he watched the dailies of Force Awakens while he was writing The Last Jedi. I think he noticed that J.J. Abrams was more focused on iconography than storytelling, which is my big problem with it. Like, it's I don't know if you're a South Park fan or not, but okay, it's when South Park did the member berries thing. That's 100% what J.J. Abrams was doing, right? It's remember the Millennium Falcon, right? And they turn the music.
Like, member berries was a direct joke about Star Wars,
exactly. But I'm like, it's so accurate. That was my thing watching Force Awakens. It's like, yeah, you don't have to like show me the Millennium Falcon, slowly zoom in, and have the score build up. I'm like, you just spend a minute showing. It's like, yeah, I know I love the Millennium Falcon. Just get in it and do the cool shit I like seeing the Millennium Falcon do, you know? George Lucas would never do that.
Yeah, because it's funny, because like, Lucas likes iconography because it can sell toys.
Yes.
But, like, he was, like... Lucas's problem was, like, with the prequels, like, you know, little things like, oh yeah, like, C-3PO was built by Darth Vader as a little boy. It's like, what's the point of that use of...
Yeah, like, it's like, sure, dude, you know?
It's iconography, but, like, it's like, does it really benefit your story to have, like, C-3PO be, like, the witness for Darth Vader's wedding? Like...
Yeah, I know, yeah. It's like, what does this add?
Yeah, and, like, I think, you know, I think J.J. Abrams' strength, with TV and movies is he can build an ensemble really well. And
Yeah.
I think that the Force Awakens is Force Awakens, as well as his Star Trek movie, as well as like shows like Lost, like incredibly well cast productions. And,
absolutely. I mean, casting Adam Driver is a stroke of genius.
Yeah, like Adam Driver, the guy who was like pretty good in the show Girls, like, and like casting him as a villain there. I think full out, like I think Adam Driver is probably the best performance in the franchise. Him or Harrison Ford's Han Solo in the first two movies.
I agree, and I want to say that I think The Last Jedi is... I mean, Adam Driver's given a lot of very good performances, and I think The Last Jedi is one of his best performances, and I think it gets overlooked because of the kind of movie it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when Snoke tells him, you know, you're just a boy in a mask, or there's something similar to that, right? And then he shocks him with lightning and tells him, like, you failed, get out of here. And he has this, like, temper tantrum, right? And he breaks his helmet, but you see everything and the conflicting nature inside of him come through on his face. And he's far from overacting. He's almost like, he's not, but it's almost more too subtle than it is too over the top at times, right? And he has those moments where he goes big, and you believe it, you know, you buy into it, and I think he's a part of this movie that I feel is not talked about enough, which is just how genuinely strong, because you're dealing with, let's face it, some ridiculous shit, you know? That's like, Mark Hamill struggled for years, so did Hayden Christensen, you know, to deal with the material, because it's goofy, you know, and the lines are goofy. And Adam Driver is one of the first people to like Harrison Ford works because he, like, as Han Solo,
he's skeptical. He's skeptical of everything around him.
And
he's doing everything for himself.
Yeah, and he kind of thinks everyone around him is dumb. So, like, for him to, it's natural for him to, like, play that. But Adam Driver is a completely different bag, right? He's got to be right in the middle of it, be serious, and deliver these lines and deal with these ideas. And his performance is really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And, like, you also have to buy, like, his, the tension, the struggle he has with himself of trying to, like, what does he want? He wants to... And you get a lot of the reason why Adam Driver, why Kylo Ren is the way he is through all the Luke Skywalker stuff, where Luke training Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, and senses some Snoke him, senses some pure evil, and tries to kill him in the middle of the night. And then
it's that betrayal would
Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, it would affect anybody, especially a kid. Yeah,
and basically, like, I always read, especially in Force Awakens, that, like, pretty much, like, Kylo Ren's, like, has school shooter mentality. Like, he is complete.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a Redditor. He's a Redditor.
Yeah, they can relate to him. And, like, you know, with the whole, like, you know, the whole the Resistance trying to escape in the convoy there, and one of the big scenes early on is that Kylo Ren is in his ship there trying to destroy the main part of the main ship there, and he sees senses his mother Leia on board there. And, like, he has his, you know, his fingers are on the triggers. Sometimes he hesitates from doing it. He's not sure he's ready to, like, full on just kill his mom to just end this war and become, like, to appeal to Snoke, the dark side, the side that actually kind of wants him, because he's been rejected from the light side in the past by his master trying to kill him. And the absolute look in Adam Driver's eyes, where he's the absolute hesitation, and will he not do that? But then you see, like, someone else takes the shot, and effectively everyone thinks kills Leia in that scene. And he plays it so damn well, where it's like, can I do it? Will I do it? Like, he can't, and, like, ultimately he can't do it. But then he sees what would happen if he were to do it, which is his worst case scenario, where, like, he didn't have the power to kill his mom, but he still has to deal with the fact that he probably killed his mom until you get, like, you know, Leia coming back to the ship there. And I will give the detractors that shot looks goofy, but I think it's fine.
I will say, right before we did this, I went and I skimmed through the movie real quick, just to do my, like, is there anything that I missed that I kind of want to bring up, right? Mm-hmm. And that shot was one of the, like, moments I stopped on, and I was like, it does not look nearly as bad as I remember it looking, because it is a little, but I'm like, Yeah, I was like, it feels very... My thing was her getting sucked out into space. It felt very Star Wars, though. Still, it was a weird thing where I'm like, how is it this, like, it has a visual feel of Star Wars, not just a CGI thing. And I don't know what to attribute to that, but there was something about it which, I don't know, maybe that doesn't make sense, but I felt a very, like, this feels right for the movie it's in.
Yeah, because, like, I think, like, one thing, too, is that, like, people were attacking her, like, it doesn't make sense that Leia can fly around in space. And it's like, why she just, like, freeze to death right away? Like, it's Star Wars. The physics and science don't matter in these movies. Like, they walked around, like, on, like, in a worm's stomach and, like and Empire Strikes Back without oxygen. Like, it's fine. Like,
I'm going to do the push up my glasses and be like, well, in the TV series, you know, people are outside in space for quite a while, so, you know, doesn't...
And, like, I feel like people pick and choose what nitty-gritty Star Wars science details they like or hate based on their agenda.
Yeah.
Like, I remember a lot of people saying with Star Wars Acolyte, which I think is actually a pretty solid show. Like, oh, if someone has a fire in space, you can't have fires in space. I'm like, have you watched Star Wars? There's fire in space all the time.
There's
like,
always fire in space. It's one of the things George Lucas talks about is that there needs to be fire in space. Like, he's talked about that before. Because there's no... He wasn't trying to make 2001, you know? He's trying to make more. He's trying to make Flash Gordon. That's what he's trying to make, you know?
And ultimately, Star Wars is a fantasy, not hard science fiction. At the end of the day, like, things don't make sense.
Exactly.
In Star Wars. Like, that's just how, like,
exactly.
Because it's George Lucas doing like Flash Gordon mixed with like Kurosawa movies. That's ultimately what it was. When
that's all. It's the Hidden Fortress meets Flash Gordon. That's Star Wars.
Yeah. And, like, so, like, people were dumping on that stuff for, like, not making any, like, sense, really, like, sense, but, like, at the same time, like, I don't know, if you start peeling away at that kind of thing, you can peel away at so many things in the original trilogy, you can peel away at so many things at Star Wars. I don't think at that point, you're being a fan, you're just being, like, CinemaSins nitpicky.
Yeah, I agree, and I want to say, for all its haters that it has, when I talk to people who like this movie, it's usually, and it's in mine as well, but it's usually in their top 3 Star Wars movies. And it's like, it's either Empire, New Hope, I was just going to call it Star Wars because I normally do, but Empire, A New Hope, and Last Jedi. Mine is Empire, Last Jedi, Star Wars. That's my top 3.
I think that's what mine pretty much ends up at, yeah.
And it's just because it's so rewarding of a watch if you're willing to participate in what the movie is offering you. And I think that's the same as the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. I think the whole franchise is, if you give yourself over to these movies, they will reward you. And I feel like Force Awakens is a movie that you don't really have to give that much to the movie to enjoy it. Right? And I think Rise of Skywalker, if you really give yourself over to it, you can have a lot of fun with it. It has its issues. Yeah, it's got the dumb lines, somehow Snoke returned and stuff like that, you know, but or Palpatine, sorry. Somehow Palpatine returned. But it's like, I have this thing, I don't know if I talked to you about it before, but I used to be like, I mean, I went to film school, so I was I'm a harsh critic of a lot of movies sometimes. And I changed my perspective by just going, if I'm watching a movie, and I just go, sure, why not? If I can say that in the movie, then I'm going to have so much fun, right? Somehow Palpatine returned. Sure, why not? And then all of a sudden, I'm not worried about it. I'm having a good time. And I feel like there's a lot of... Last Jedi, I feel like I didn't need to do that. I was more like, wow, most of the time, right? Instead of
like trying to piece together what the movie's trying to do, and then like it does have like a overall vision of what it's trying to say. It's not just,
and it keeps you guessing.
For no reasons. Yeah.
It's, I don't need to... The Rise of Skywalker keeps giving you answers to your questions, whereas this one keeps... Anytime it answers a question, it makes you ask a new one. And I think that's good. That's good storytelling. That's good writing.
Yeah.
Is
and,
as soon as you
like,
go ahead.
The biggest mystery at the end of Force Awakens was like you know, because it ends with the cliffhanger of like Rey meets up with Luke Skywalker. He's all disheveled. He's on like some remote planet. Like, why is Luke Skywalker there? The reason being he's in self-exile. Learning about his relationship with Kylo Ren, how he basically birthed Kylo Ren, which basically helps the Resistance, like the First Order, take over the galaxy kind of thing. The absolute guilt there, and it's like, oh, that's just the same journey that Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi had as well. Like
exactly, like, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and like people's like, oh, Luke Skywalker would never act like that. Like, well, like all his masters acted the exact same way.
Yeah, look at the people he learned from.
Also, like to be like honestly, like Luke Skywalker. Not that fleshed out of a character in the original trilogy. No,
like, people were calling Rey a Mary Sue or whatever, and I was like, oh, and Luke Skywalker isn't? Like,
yeah, he's the ultimate Mary Sue. He's good at everything right away. Like, he flies an X-Wing for the first time and destroys the Death Star. Like,
yeah, and then the next movie, he has like a training montage, and then he's good at everything. Mm-hmm. Then he's the ultimate badass, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Mary Sue was the term that's thrown around a lot for this movie and Force Awakens with Rey. And like this, I also feel like that J.J. Abrams did a pretty good job establishing like Rey, like she's good with the staff because she lives in a scavenger planet and everything. She has to do everything by herself. She interacts with always like sketchy guys at the marketplace who are trying to scam her for a lot of money and stuff. Like there's reasons for her to have these skills and stuff. But I don't think people come to these movies with good intentions when we come to analyze them, because like these movies do explain like, here's how this character is able to do this, because they are aware of the criticisms of some characters like being good at something for no reason at all. But it's also like in Star Wars, you have the Force, you have magical powers, you have intuition. Like little shitty Anakin Skywalker, little pod racer kid, like, oh yeah, he has magical Force powers. He can enter this race. He's the only human who can do pod race. He can
I know
so easily.
Yeah, it's never been a struggle for the characters to be good at something.
Yeah. Yeah, so and I think that like in this one, Last Jedi, it shows some struggles that characters have when it comes to how they are interacting with their world. You get Kylo Ren's complete conflict. You also get Rey trying to force someone who is an exile kind of out of the exile there, and not really learning she's kind of refusing some. It's just like Luke in Empire Strikes Back. She's like refusing some lessons and warnings, and he's having all these great conversations with Kylo Ren. I love these scenes so much of Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver just communicating back and forth, like, almost like it's like you up phone calls.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I love that stuff. I also love can you please put on a shirt, you know?
Yeah.
Like Ben Swallow, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's like there is some actual like some kind of sexual tension going on in these scenes too. And it truly shows like their relationships are like their journeys are so parallel when it comes to trying to learn what to do with your powers.
Can I ask you a question, sort of unrelated, but did you ever read the leaked Colin Trevorrow script?
No, I did not.
Duel of
but
the Fates?
I think Colin Trevorrow is the biggest hack in Hollywood. I think all of these are bad in the exact same way. So I was like, and I've heard that the script sounds better, but there's no way at the end of the day that movie would have been good, because it would have completely sidelined every female character into something with no agency at all. Somewhere in the process, like, women have nothing to do at all, and it would just turn into some iconography wank that had nothing to say at all.
Now, I have read that script, and I still have it. It's I'll send it to you if you have any interest. But
I should probably read it at some point. So yeah, please send it to me.
It's got issues. It definitely has issues, but it's definitely a much better movie than Rise of Skywalker. It feels like it should have, like, in tonally, it feels like it should have been the second of a trilogy. Like, it's very dark. It's very interesting, but it's got a lot of like fun like set pieces and stuff like that. It was a really interesting, which I'm still 100% sure Trevorrow was the one who leaked it, because like, come on.
He got fired for the Book of Henry. That was just so bad that he could not make a movie like Star Wars.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he got the job because he made Jurassic World. right? Like that's why he got the job.
I think he
And
got,
then
I
he
think
could-
he got it from like the dailies of Jurassic World, because like I think they announced Abrams.
It was in
Johnson,
production.
Yeah, and Jurassic World
It was
a
in
terrible
production
movie,
when he got announced.
but like
Jurassic World is the Force Awakens of the Jurassic Park franchise. You know, it's the same thing again, bigger and modern CGI. You know, it's fine. It was fun to see in theaters. It's if there's nothing on TV and that's on, you can watch it. You know, but there's not much there. That's why I liked his script, because he was really actually trying something interesting. It felt more similar to what I like. It had some things that I imagine Andor also tackled, with like darker themes, street level sort of violence in the Star Wars universe, like the real repercussions of the Empire or the First Order. Not that this is a Rise of Skywalker episode, but I also like his title.
It's all relevant, right? Because because Colin Trevorrow was fired, be it for creative differences or because Book of Henry is that bad of a movie, got J.J. Abrams in there to, and I forget who was it. Chris Trejo that wrote Rise of Skywalker. I think it was a couple people that wrote it, but they kept the same,
it was
kept the same release date, so they didn't like delay it at all. So it was a pretty rushed movie because they're trying to release, like from 2015 to 2019, they released a Star Wars movie each year. So like they had the trilogy, then they had Rogue One and Solo in between installments. And,
do you like Solo?
Yes.
I really like Solo.
Yeah, it's fun. It
It's
gets a little
very
cute.
fun.
It reminds me a lot of like Santa Claus is coming to town, like the Rankin Bass thing, where it's like, oh, so that's how Santa Claus learned how to like use reindeer and stuff.
Absolutely,
it reminds me so much of that. But like, I think it's a fun movie. Alden Ehrenreich's a great actor.
I love Alden Ehrenreich so much. You have no idea. And I thought he did a great job, because he's not trying to be Harrison Ford, but he is trying to be Han Solo. And I think it really works. And I think the backlash of The Last Jedi really hurt that movie too.
100%.
Because it wasn't a full year between releases. Solo came out a little bit.
Release, yeah, it was.
It was
early.
a May release.
Yeah,
and
people were primed to hate it because of people were primed to hate it because of Last Jedi Backlash, and like I remember the big attack point of that movie was that Alden Ehrenreich had an acting coach. So like, oh, this guy does not know how to act. He has a coach. And I'm like, that's not what acting coaches are. Like Bradley Cooper has an acting coach on set with him every single movie. Tom Brady,
a lot of people do.
Quarterback, has a coach. Like a lot of people have coaches to help them with things. It's not coach does not mean that you just don't have to do anything at all. Like it's
no
a complete misunderstanding
it's
of how
also
acting as process works.
Again, if you're attacking the acting in a Star Wars movie, you don't have a foot to stand on, right?
Yeah, and like people are saying, oh, like the reason people didn't like it, like didn't make money. Under the excuse, like, oh, no one asked for this movie. But I don't know, like there's a lot of Star Wars things people don't ask for, but they get anyway. Like
no one asked for new Star Wars in general.
Yeah,
you know?
And yeah, so like people like this movie got a lot of people like really primed to just dislike Star Wars things in general, and I think the biggest thing like is that a lot of people complain about. I think it's fantastic. Like the rest of the movie is the Canto Bight plot. So that's a Rose and Finn.
I was glad you brought it up, because I have a couple comments on the Canto Bight stuff, which is yes, people hated that stuff for some reason. I actually wanted more of it.
Same.
I loved the world they built there. I loved the set. I loved the characters there. And it was like, my favorite stuff in Star Wars is, hey, they go to a new planet you've never seen before, right? It's just like, I wish there was more stuff on Crate, too. Because I'm like, that world is so cool. Yeah. You know? And I played the Battlefront video games, and I remember when they were when they released Crate, I was so excited to play it. Because I'm like, I want to just run around in this world. It looks so much fun. Yeah, and I wish they did a Canto Bight map, because that would have been so much fun.
Casino World, yeah. And like what I love about Casino World too is that like it's like very high upscale stuff. So you rarely see like class differences in Star Wars for the most part. Like even like Phantom Menace, where like little boy Annie's a slave, like his slave owner is a flying bumblebee, who's like lives in the slums too. Like, and
they don't show the upper class a lot. though.
Which is something
Besides...
that Andor does. Andor does it very well, but like this one does it so well, where it's just like Finn is so taken and is like enchanted by this. Where like this place rocks. Look at all the gambling going on. Look at all the ritual. This place is awesome. But
yeah, he wanted to hit a table for sure.
Yeah, but then Rose points like, "Hey, look a little bit closer," and they look down to these like this racetrack there, and there's like almost like a alien horse looking things running this track there.
Yeah, what are they called?
Some, like,
fathiers or something like that?
Maybe, yeah. And like looking a little closer, there's like the guy who like runs horse, some alien, and he's like whipping some like young children who are like looking after this thing, and it's like oh, like there is some like complete class discrepancy going on in this world there. It's part of the sequence too, because they're trying to find
scene.
Yeah, it's great. It like sells like like Star Wars actually has a deeper universe versus some consequences too, because also part of the sequence too is because they're trying to find a way to break because the First Order is able to track them through hyperspace, which is something that like a technology that's like completely like new to this franchise, and like it's like so high tech. So how do we break this and stop the tracking? So to try to find a code breaker on this planet there. One was played by Justin Theroux, but like they can't use that guy. So then they find Benicio del Toro as DJ, who is a code breaker as well, and he's great in this movie.
He's so good. I like his like stutter.
Mm-hmm. It's such a good good tick for him to like make the character seem like very.
I'm going to throw out a prediction that the next Knives Out movie will have Benicio del Toro in it. I think those guys loved working together.
He should be in those movies. He would fit so.
And I want to see him as like a rich asshole in like
mm-hmm.
I don't know, not the Mediterranean because they've done it, but like a Spanish sort of thing. Like I would eat it up,
Just put his Phoenician scheme character into Knives Out.
Exactly what I want to see.
And yeah, but one thing he points out too is that like all these weapons dealers who are at Candlelight they're selling arms to both the First Order and the Resistance. So the war profiteering going on too. Like okay, so like here it's called Star Wars. Here are the consequences of the wars. Here is some rich people benefiting while poor people are suffering because of all this conflicts happening. And it's so interesting. And like, BB-8's on them with their journey too. I love BB-8 to death. BB-8 is such a good addition. Like
he's also so good. That was one of my comments to one of my notes was BB-8 is so good in this movie. Like I know it's like it's partially CGI, but like it's a robot. But he's so like his bits are really funny. Like when he's like he says, "I stole the ship. We stole the ship," and he's sassy. He has like a machine gun of coins, like
yeah, because that one alien voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt keeps putting coins in him like a slot machine.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so funny. Yeah, so like he's part of Rose and Finn, and now DJs are trying to like get all the proper codes and stuff. And like the funniest part of the whole movie is that so Rose and Finn, they land on Candlelight there, but they just park on a beach, and they get arrested for a parking violation.
I know, it's so good.
It's so funny. And like, as in jail, they meet Benicio del Toro, and then like they eventually use the horses, they escape, they get back to a ship, everything. Rose lets all the horses free because she has some like absolute like she cares for other beings in this universe. Like she's a true beating heart in this movie. And
yeah,
they go to like the First Order Dreadnought where to stop the hyperspace tracking, and they're undercover and such with it. They get betrayed by Benicio del Toro there, who sells them out to Captain Phasma, played by Gwendolyn Christie. And you get a pretty good action sequence here where BB-8 like hijacks an AT-ST and starts blasting it at them, which is awesome.
Stumbling around on it.
Yeah, it's so good. And then like meanwhile, this whole sequence is like that's cut with the first Order shooting down some Resistance shuttles and such, as well as you get the whole throne room fight with Rey and Kylo Ren, where Snoke gets killed by Kylo Ren, which is such an awesome like scene where Kylo Ren.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's the best action scene like all of Star Wars.
Yeah, it's because of what I said before, where like he really earns that moment, but it's also one of the more violent scenes in like recent Star Wars. Like I'm sure Andor has a lot, but at the time,
yeah. But it starts off with like Kylo being like, okay, so you're gonna activate your lightsaber, Kylo, and like kill your enemy, looking at Rey and stuff like, you'll defeat her and like earn your power and such. And then instead, like, Kylo Ren, like, he activates Rey's lightsaber with his thing beside Snoke and like cuts him in half, and like Rey catches it, and like they start fighting all the guards, and like the guards are all these red
the music cue of Rey catching that lightsaber and standing up. I was like, oh my! And then it does the horns kind of go down and the drums build, and they kind of look at each other and just go like, yeah. And then it's like, okay, let's do this. And then it's such a good, such a well constructed moment.
Yeah, this was so like I had this on 4K without having a 4K TV for the longest time. So like the first movie I watched on my 4K TV was Last Jedi. And
awesome.
I just wanted to rush to see this scene in full HDR, see how the colors popped, and like it did not disappoint.
And they do. I know, because I have the 4K as well, and that scene and the crate scene, the colors are just like magnificent on the 4K.
It's such a great looking movie. Yeah,
it is.
Oh,
I mean, Canto Bight too. Canto Bight has a lot of all the low light stuff in Canto Bight with the yellows. Looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good. And like, yeah, it looks, oh god, it's so fucking fantastic. And like, I will say Rise of Skywalker has moments that look really great too. And Star Wars TV looks like absolute dog shit. Like, Andor looks fine because like, it's supposed to kind of draft like, yeah, but like Mandalorian first season looked like it looks kind of okay, but the volume stages they use, like it looks worse and worse every single year. Like it looks, and like
it does.
And the trailer they have for Mandalorian and Grogu, it looks awful. Like it looks so drab.
It looks like they didn't change a thing; they just made it longer.
Yeah, which is probably definitely what they did, because like that's how they make TV shows now, just like make them feel like long movies. There's a reason why these movies pop off as a film franchise, because even like a shit like Attack of the Clones, I remember when it came out, like people saying, well, like it's kind of bad, but it looks pretty good. Some of the CGI does not pop off, but overall, like it looks fine. Like yeah, but you don't really see movies these days where it's like, well, it was kind of shit, but it looked really good, because I think the creator that Gareth Edwards movie is probably the only example of the past like 5 years I've heard someone's like, well, it's not very good, but it looks incredible, so you should see it in the theater.
I actually really liked the creator.
I was fine with it, yeah, but like that was one that just like that's the only one I can think of where like the movie is like not like incredible, but like people was like, if you see it, you have
and
to
it was made for a small budget and shot on like a consumer grade camera, so
it was like what, like $70 million to make. That was insane, like.
Yeah, if that. It was like, yeah, it was crazy. And then I'm like, this looks like... And yeah, I'm sure he used a lot of leftover stuff from like Rogue One, but I'm like, I'm okay with it. It looks great. It's a pretty simple sci-fi movie, but it works, I had a great time seeing it. I worked at Imagine Cinemas at the time. I was one of the managers there, and I would stay and watch movies after hours before they would come out, which I don't know, I might get in trouble for saying that, but I would do that.
You don't work there anymore, do you? So you're good.
I don't work there anymore. No, but
they can't fire you.
Yeah, so I would usually watch a movie like 2 days before it came out, and and the creator was one that I did that for. So I told everybody to go see it. I will say while we're since I brought that up. I did that for Dune Part 2. I watched it 2 days before it came out, and I couldn't say anything to anybody. And I was like, this is one of the greatest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. So I ended up watching it again the next night, so I saw it twice before it came out. And I was like,
lucky bastard. It's such a good movie.
Losing my... Everyone who came in on opening day, I was like, you guys are gonna fucking lose your minds when you see this movie.
Yeah. Gorgeous movie. Yeah. I remember that scene with the Harkonnen homeworld, like that's all like, shot infrared. I was in such a zen place watching the movie. Like I was loving it so much. Like my Fitbit legitimately thought I was asleep because I was so rested in such a calm zen state. Like just in full like I'm movie magic. I'm wrapped up in this movie. This movie's wonderful.
I was the only one there because like I said it was after hours. I was the only one who stayed. And I watched it in the Atmos theater, and I found the exact center of all the speakers. I had tested on a previous movie, and when he starts riding the worm in that movie, it shook all of the seats, like where if you were dead in the center. And it's one of the best theatrical experiences I've ever had is watching that movie. Same with the atomics and everything. Like watching that movie in that was. unbeatable.
I was in that Atmos Theater yesterday. I think it was the Atmos Theater. I think I was there yesterday for a Zootopia. And two guys were snoring so loud that the seats may as well have been shaking.
Yeah, that's they got comfy seats, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, great seats. And yes, everything might be lost now because like DJ betrays Finn and Rose there because the First Order pays him more money, and like you never see DJ again. Like they didn't make what shocks me about this era of Star Wars. Like they never really made any like TV shows of this era, of the sequel era. It's all just like we're rehashing like post Return of the Jedi stuff or like Clone Wars era stuff. And I feel it's a lot of missed opportunities. Like there should be like a Benicio del Toro TV show. Like why not? Like
I know I would watch that. I would watch an entire or like. It would be even better. Give me a Justin Theroux one. Give me one of the character we didn't get to see. Like, what was he up to? That
Lupita Nyong'o's character is like fucked the guy. Like,
I know it's awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it's like so funny.
Give me their vacation romance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that. Like make that like a one-off Star Wars thing. Like you don't need to make like an 8-episode season of Mandalorian or no an 8-episode season of Book of Boba Fett, which is half of Mandalorian. And it's all about like, some Clone Wars like lore nonsense.
Yeah, no,
like,
I want to see Maz Kanata and the guy with the red plum bloom fucking hooking up on the beaches of Canto Bight. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Give the fans what they want,
Yeah, yeah. Like, because like Luke's also like training Rey on the planet of, like the ways of the Force and stuff. We get a great like little like. Talk about like what the Force is. It's like life and death is giving and taking and stuff. It's a really great shot scene.
Yeah, really cool montage there.
Yeah, and also you get Luke Skywalker drinking milk straight from the tit of an alien monster.
I love that. People complain about that. I thought it was so awesome.
Yeah, like it's such a good bit because also like he's so used to doing this that he doesn't think anything of it. And
he's also like he had his blue milk that he liked when he was younger,
Yeah.
Getting it straight from the source.
Yeah. And Rey ends up bleeding when she finds out the truth about like what Luke did to Kylo Ren. And Luke's all like defeated and stuff, and like he like wants like starts up a big fire where he wants to destroy like all this like these old ancient Jedi texts, and he gets the Force Ghost.
Actually, Yoda starts the fire.
Oh right, yes. Luke's like ready to get it going, but like Yoda just like starts it up, just like for like these don't matter anyway. And
that is actually my favorite scene in the movie is when Yoda comes in,
and it's a Yoda like puppet again, and it looks awesome. It's Frank Oz doing the voice, and it's such a nice conversation between Luke and Yoda, and like Yoda says something where it's like the burden of a teacher is that like your students will move on past.
He says
they will.
Yeah, he says, "We are what they grow beyond. That is the burden of all masters."
Great line. It's so good. And it really shows that, like, Luke became what Yoda was. He became some guy in exile. And great scene. And so the Resistance finally made their escape, so they're going to an old abandoned base on this planet called Crate. And Crate is a planet that's like, what is it? It's like salt. It's like a red surface, but it's like covered in salt. So it's completely white.
The guy who tastes it is really funny. Isn't it Gareth Edwards?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think he's the one who... He's in that scene. I don't know if he's the one who tastes it or he's the one who looks at the guy weird for tasting it.
Yeah, and so like it's basically we're getting like kind of like a Hoth scene from Empire Strikes Back where it's kind of like, some final battle there. And like, but this time it's truly a final battle because they're fucked. Like the First Order is almost going to completely kill them.
It's a final stand if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and so like they're trying to like figure out even if there's a way to escape this base. There's like crystal like dogs around there. They're trying to like maybe they get a way out. And
I like that they just call them crystal critters or something. Like they don't even give them a name. It's the same. It's the same with the battering ram cannon. I'm like, come on, guys, you couldn't have come up with any name for it.
All these, So like the First Order drops these like battering ram cannons down there, as well as these AT-AT looking things, like look more like knuckle draggers than anything else. And
they're like gorilla versions.
Mm-hmm. And so as the final showdown there, they got these like really shitty the Resistance found these like really shitty like kind of like skiff scout things that kind of they can maybe go and attack the ships there. But they're kind of like they kind of hover off the ground. It's almost like a wheel touching the ground. So like they kind of like
they're like skimming it.
Yeah, and all these great trails of red behind them in the salt. It looks so fucking cool. And you get this like one great part where like Finn is ready to just like do a suicide run to destroy these blast cans, and the haters hate the scene where like Rose like bashes him to save his life. It's so great because she has that one great line. It's like, we're not going to win by destroying what we hate. We'll win by saving what we love.
Saving what we love.
Nice
and I'm like, it's such a good line. And then people were like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever... I'm like, do you have any feelings in your heart? Like, are you just like...
do you have any joy in your soul? Like, what the hell? Like,
exactly. Like that's exactly the mentality they should have. That is how they'll win. That's how you defeat evil, is with love. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, and like...
It's such an old school movie thing.
Mm-hmm. And, like, at this point, like, an apparition of Luke Skywalker shows up. And, like, he's, like, in a brown robe and everything like that. And, like, he's he's in the base. And he has a nice thing with Leia there. And he goes out there to, meet up with... to go to battle against all these... First Order equipment there, and he just gets like Kylo Ren immediately just like tells everyone to focus all fire on Luke Skywalker, and
it's so good. It's
everyone
so good.
Just shooting at him, and as the dust settles there,
the fire on that man.
And he just brushes like takes his hand to shoulder and like, brushes it off. It does not matter. It pisses off Kylo Ren so much.
Yeah.
So,
I also love the burst of red dirt makes it look like Luke actually just got like annihilated.
Yeah, it looks like pink mist from like an action movie. It's great.
Exactly.
And meanwhile, we also get Rey's arriving the planet with Chewie, the Millennium Falcon, and a bunch of porgs. They have this great like scene where chasing TIE fighters down this like crystal like kind of a cave system.
Yeah.
It looks great. Chewie gets some, good piloting in there. And so Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker have their big showdown there. And I think I wrote the inverse down, but like Kylo says to Luke, like, the rebellion dies today, the war is over, you are the last Jedi. And Luke just flips on reverses that, says like, the rebellion is reborn today, the war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi. You get Rey to rise, she lifts up all kinds of rocks that trap people inside there. So all the resistance is like, oh shit, we got another Jedi on our hands. Like she can help us out. Here are her force powers. So she's helped them escape. And
it's such a good moment. I do like that Luke just hits him with a "no you."
Yeah. And so like everyone's loading up onto the Millennium Falcon, save themselves, and Luke and Kylo get into like a lightsaber fight where basically Luke just dodges Kylo Ren completely, and it's revealed that like Luke has basically just been an apparition. He's projection himself from the planet he is like across the galaxy, and he's not been there at all. He's used all his force powers to just project himself, which pisses off Kylo Ren to no end. And he's completely humiliated. And we get this great part where Luke is back on that planet there, and he sees the twin sunsets, and he's given all he can to his entire life force away to get that power going. And the music plays, and he dies. And it's a great death to a great character.
It is. It really is. Which also, for some reason, pissed everybody off. Like, come on, guys.
Which, like, it's such a heroic ending. And so on the Millennium Falcon, they have Rey's like, what are we going to do? Like, how can you build a rebellion from this? And, like, Leia has a great line, like, everything we need is right here. And, like, it shows, like, there's, like, 12 people left. And triumphant music plays. They could have ended the movie right there. But, like, it goes the extra beat where it goes back to Candle Bite. We see the young kids who were like with these like kind of that shitty like horse trainer guy, and like this guy's like kind of beating the kids and stuff. And the one little kid, he kind of like has like an Anakin Skywalker kind of look to him, like kind of like a very boyish looking guy with kid with like blonde hair, and he kind of like pushes back a little bit and like tries to protect his friends, and he's ordered to like kind of sweep the ground and everything. And he early in the movie he got a ring from Finn and Rose that kind of like shows like you can twist it, shows like the rebellion logo, and he's like he like walks out towards a brick ramp, and he uses the force to grab a broom for himself. So this kid has force powers. He's starting to sweep. He sees in the sky basically a shooting star, which is almost implied to be like, hey, this is the Millennium Falcon zipping off there. He looks at his ring. He's hopeful for the future, like, yeah, we can fight back. The rebellion is not just rebellion is not just the people fighting it, but it's like, you know, what we want to imagine. Oh, so I forgot the most important part of the scene though. It's because the guys, the horse guys yelling at the kids there because they're playing with their action figures. And the story of Luke Skywalker and what we just saw in the movie there with the Millennium Falcon was so damn powerful. And Star Wars is such a cool damn story that this kid is so excited to like play with his friends and stuff. Because Star Wars is such a cool setting and all the characters are so awesome that are so inspired to like, you know, do something good for themselves in the galaxy. Like that's what The Last Jedi is. The Last Jedi is a story about how cool Star Wars is and how inspiring and awesome it is, and how you can take that story and do good for yourself and everyone around you. And that's the ending of the movie.
Absolutely,
and it's such a great ending. And the fact that that people are not talking about this ending nonstop drives me insane. Like, how do you look at that ending like, this is awesome ending to the movie? Like, this is a movie about how awesome Star Wars is. And how cool the action arc is. It's a movie about how awesome Luke Skywalker is. It's not how, like, oh, we hate Luke Skywalker, we want to kill him. Like, no, it's a story about how cool Luke Skywalker is and how, like, his story's so awesome.
How inspirational he is. Yeah. I absolutely love the whole movie. I love the ending. It's such a heartwarming ending to like the other two trilogies. The middle movie does not end on the most heartwarming notes, you know. So they don't have that much hope.
This is a challenging movie in the sense that like it's only challenging because it asks you to kind of like think about what Star Wars is, rather than just telling you what Star Wars is. But like this movie is just like, Star Wars is like, you know, it's the iconography, it's the characters, it's the story, it's all these elements put together, and these kids who are playing with the Star Wars toys, they're just like you, and you can do cool shit yourself in the real world. Just like these kids are going to be inspired to do something good. And the fact that the story that this final showdown with Kylo Ren on Crate there was had all these elements put together. That's what the rebellion is going to be. The rebellion is going to be people being inspired by the story.
Absolutely.
And of course, Rise of Skywalker throws most of that away because Reddit complained about it too much.
Exactly. Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So like that's The Last Jedi, but it's a fantastic movie. I love it to death. But like the haters basically took us over, and like they kind of killed Star Wars, all these haters, because Disney kind of kept trying to back down to them. Like, hey, like, don't worry, we'll make a Star Wars you're gonna like this time around. This one's gonna be about, we're gonna make a TV show about Boba Fett that's not gonna be about him at all, and we're gonna like, you know, do Mandalorian and Grogu right now because everyone likes the Baby Yoda now. But like, they're not making Star Wars movies for people who like the movies, it seems, anymore. And this is a movie that's about like how much people like the characters and stories, and I think this is like a love letter to Star Wars. I don't see it as a movie that is rejecting Star Wars like the detractors think it is. I'm
with you 100%, and you know what? I hope a few haters listen to this episode and got convinced to give it another shot, and and find some rewarding things from the movie, because I find it to be a very good and a very nice movie. I just makes me feel good after I watch it, you know?
Same, yeah. Like I'm happy just thinking about the ending of the movie right now.
Me too. And, like, it's making me want to literally just like throw it on and watch it. Like
I know, when I get home tonight, I'm going to throw on Star Wars Last Jedi again. I think I'm going to watch the isolated score cut of it, though. I've never seen that before, and it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Either on the digital copy of it that you get with the 4K, or on the 4K itself.
Okay, I'll have to look at my case and see what it says.
But this movie has a 2.9 on Letterboxd right now, which is like
crazy. That's crazy.
Having under a 3. Like Rise of Skywalker is a 2.3, and like I get that there's that movie has some true haters to it, but like that low for Last Jedi is like, that's nuts. And from what I recall, Last Jedi was like one of the first movies I saw people full-on review bombing it on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. Like I saw review bombing for video games a lot, but I never really saw it for movies until The Last Jedi. Yeah,
I mean, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, I think it's like the critics have it at like 91%. The audience have it at like 40-something%.
Which is nuts. Which, like, again, I think it's internet fandom. Yeah, you're right, 41%. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I think people get in these bubbles, right? And there's some people that have entire careers on YouTube where they just they shit on Star Wars and they get trillions of views and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year somehow. there is a financial benefit to be a hater for major franchises, and I think that a lot of that's weaponized too. Like, not to say like people can absolutely hate Last Jedi for various reasons. There's a lot of people that are disliking it for sexist, racist reasons, as well as not trying to meet the movie where it is, but where they expect the movie to go,
where they want it to be. Yeah,
which is never fun. Like I never want to go see a movie. Like when I saw again back to Zootopia 2 yesterday, like that was the exact same movie as the first movie. I'm like, I wish it did anything different. I wish it kind of broke any kind of expectation for me. And, but also, if you do the exact same thing as like I expect, like do something kind of fun. Like, you know, in the Lost Die Hard 2 episode, like we at least talk about all the great action scenes that pop up there, even if it is a lot of retread of like the dynamics from the first film. Like, at least give something really fun and cool. Like, and even if you don't like Phantom Menace is a movie that like a lot of people don't like for various reasons, and be like, hey, the pod race is cool, or like the music's awesome, and
or the Darth Maul stuff's cool. Yeah,
there's cool stuff in every Star Wars movie, I think. And even if you don't like the Canto Bite scenes, you gotta admit the final battle's awesome, or the throne room fight's awesome, or like there's so many cool bits to this movie, and like I just truly do not understand, like, you know, how you can be a like go to like a letterbox round feels like this movie deserves a half star. Like, I don't know, if you truly have objections, maybe 2.5 stars, but like
if you don't like it, I don't understand how you can hate it that much. That's my thing, right? Like, if you don't want to like it, hey, or like, sorry, not that you don't want to. If you don't like it, that's fine, you know. But you got to give it credit for what it actually is, you know. Yeah, and like, I think people don't give it that chance.
Yeah, I think that the fact that people think this is the movie that ruined Star Wars, when like actually it was the Backlash's movie that ruined Star Wars.
Yes, absolutely. It was. They don't want to admit that they're the ones who ruined Star Wars.
Yeah, and sometimes you just gotta grow up and like accept, like, hey, maybe this franchise for kids is not for you, and like, you know, just accept that. Maybe
exactly.
Like, my sister's one of those people. My sister only cares for the original trilogy. Like, she does not care for the prequels. I don't think she cares for the sequel trilogy at all. She's like happy just being a fan of the original trilogy and nothing else. I'm like, sure, that's fine. But like, she's not spewing hate online and like calling Kelly Marie Tran racist words on Instagram. Like,
yeah, she's not telling her to kill herself or anything, you know.
Yeah, which is like problem with a lot of Star Wars fans do that, because like we've seen the cycle happen before with Ahmed Best and Jake Lloyd hating the original trilogy. There, how like they prequel trilogy got so many death threats that they quit acting for a while, and now people are like, oh yeah, no, we love Ahmed Best, we love Hayden Christensen. Please do like a Hayden Christensen Star Wars Darth Vader TV show. Like, you caused this guy so much hell because he was just a wooden actor in a whatever movie.
Yeah, because George Lucas told him to act that way.
Exactly. Yeah, Lucas is just a bad director a bad director of actors. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But
nice.
Yeah.
This was fun.
I had a couple minutes. So like, this is thank you so much for coming on board, and thank you for giving me this idea to like do this like quick little episode here, because I guess it's not that quick. It's like almost an hour and a half long. But
it was definitely fun, and that way you at least have something to release, because we
I know
we had those technical difficulties.
That's so hard. Yeah. And I'm looking at it. It says recording right now. I can see the duration on it, so this episode is being recorded. So I don't think I fucked this one up, but we'll see. But yeah, fantastic suggestion. Thank you so much for saving my ass this week. It's been like 3.5 hours of podcasting with you today, which has been a blast.
Yeah, it's nice. It's also like we only ever get to talk when you come into my work, you know. So
yeah,
it's nice. It's nice to like just be able to sit down and talk about movies with you for a little bit. So
absolutely, it's a blast. Yeah. But speaking of your work, do you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I'll plug two things if you don't mind. I'll plug. So I am the weekend manager at the Highland Cinema. You're the other guest for the Die Hard 2 episode who couldn't be on this one because he had to head out. Is the general manager at the Highland Cinema. So we're local independent cinema here in London, and we do a lot of original programming and try to bring a lot of exciting movies either on film or digital to the people of London. We work really hard at that, so hopefully if some people listen to your show who are in London who have not been there before, they'll come and check it out. We like to think it's a good spot for movie lovers. So,
I just bought my ticket for Kill Bill in 70mm in January.
Awesome, yeah, that's going to be really fun. We've been working on that 70mm for quite a while. It's mainly been our projectionist, but we've all pitched in to give him a hand in setting that up, whether it's bringing up heavy things from the basement, like the base of the projector or the lamp house, helping him calibrate the DTS units and things like that. So it's been a team effort to make 70mm happen at the Highland. So we're finally going to do it in January. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Man.
The other thing I want to plug is again the guest. Go ahead, yeah.
I think you should also plug the Die Hard 2 thing, because we did the whole Die Hard 2 episode.
We did do Die Hard 2 as our...
For the fact you guys are playing it later this month.
Yeah, so we're going to be playing that later this month. It'll actually be just after Christmas, but we're going to be playing that on 35mm. Like Mike said before, I don't know if it's actually been announced yet, or if we're... It will be by the time this episode is out. So, come see Die Hard 2 on 35mm at the Highland Cinema if you're able and you like that movie. And then, Mike Clausen and I also host our own podcast called Sick Flicks. We just released an episode today, the day we're recording, which is Ricochet, the Denzel Washington movie, a very insane action movie from the early 90s that we're both massive fans of. We do a lot of 90s action, but it's not restricted to that, since our next episode, Mike told you, is going to be Body Double and Crimes of Passion. So we're getting into the more erotic thriller sort of space there, but we just talk about movies that we think are sick movies, and that's the only criteria. But it seems to lean heavily towards 80s, 90s action. So if you're into that, definitely come check us out. It's Sick Flicks on whatever podcast platform you use. We also have an Instagram if you want to follow us there.
Very fun show. I highly recommend checking it out. Yeah. So you can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at bwishart. You can also follow MoviePod on Twitter and Blue Sky and YouTube. Next week's episode is going to be Our Majesty's Secret Service, James Bond movie, and Andrew Joe Potter, who was on here for the TIFF episode, is going to be returning. I already got your thoughts on Our Majesty's Secret Service when we did our previous recording here, too. Do you have any quick thoughts about it?
I just love it. I love all the Bond movies. My personal favorite is Moonraker. That's my...
Moonraker. I know it's actually your favorite. Wow.
Yeah, if you knew the kinds of movies I liked, if I would like, Moonraker is like my, because I love the Bond movies so much, and I love like 60s and 70s, like everything from that era. Like I like Danger Diabolic, is one of my favorite movies, stuff like that. And I'm like, that's like James Bond went that route, And I was like, this combined everything I loved into one movie, and it's so much fun. So I'm not saying it's the best Bond. I'm saying it's my favorite to watch.
Well, maybe I'll have to get you back on here at some point to talk Moonraker, because that movie.
Oh, I would love to, man. I would love to.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much for saving this week of the show. You are the real hero.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for having me. It's been a blast, dude.
All right. To everyone at home listening, thank you so much, and take care.